Good morning, friends. It's Bob again, bringing you, I think, one final forgive and reconciliation reflection, at least for the time being. And then this Sunday, we're actually going to be starting a series on joy infusion from the book of Philippians. But I want to just talk one last thing about this idea of forgiving first before we go and try to reconcile with somebody. I have found that over the years that when we don't do that work of forgiveness up front, and then we go and try to talk with somebody and reconcile with them, but we still have these charged feelings and different kind of things, that I found that sometimes what ends up happening is we're trying to find equilibrium within ourselves rather than reconciliation. And so I found that a lot of times people will go and they'll kind of be just emotionally or verbally throw up on somebody and say, hey, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm going through, this is what I think that you did, and all these different kind of things. And because they haven't forgiven, what ends up happening is those conversations, even if they go well, the person on the receiving end ends up feeling like they got all this weight put on them, and kind of this, they're now forced to figure out what they're going to do and say, rather than, but the person who's giving the verbiage, who's vomiting on them, so to speak, feels better because they have sort of discharged the tension that was within them. They found equilibrium, but not reconciliation. Equilibrium versus reconciliation. Equilibrium, I think, is something that all of us need within ourselves, but we don't necessarily get it by doing that. And so in order to create less damage, or to create no damage, we forgive first, then we engage in those conversations. And then when we do, then it's a win-win for both people rather than a win for me, so to speak, because I'm venting out what I'm saying, what I'm feeling, but a lose for you because now you're just the recipient of my seeking equilibrium, emotional equilibrium myself. I hope that makes sense. But I think that a lot of times human beings, Christians in particular, that we do this, that we don't forgive, but we go and we have these talks, and because we are just honest and blab it, that a lot of times those things don't go very well because we're simply trying to find equilibrium for ourselves. So think about that for a moment as we head into this weekend, and as you look at the relationships that God has placed you in. Where is it that you need to forgive, and then engage in a conversation so that you can grow from that conversation and reconcile and come to the place of real harmony from God? Thanks so much for joining me. I'm praying for you, and I love you, and I'm hoping that your weekend is absolutely blessed. God bless you.